Boys and girls, we are officially counting down to home shirts never, ever, ever being available again. I know I've mentioned it a lot recently. I will continue to mention it a lot because I guarantee the day after they close forever, someone will say, Kev, are those shirts still available? No, they're not. If you don't order by Sunday, you're never getting one. So that is Saturday the 14th of September is when orders need to be in, because we're sending the order off to the factory on Sunday the 15th of September. So it's gumroad.com/LOLLUJO. The link and everything is all down in the description. But if you want one, this is the final opportunity now. Thank you, of course, to everyone who's bought one so far. Hello and welcome to part 205 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a Premier League game away against Norwich and a Champions League knockout round game away against Espanyol. It's the first leg of the first knockout round. Since you were last with me, our good form has continued. We managed to get ourselves knocked out of the FA Cup, which is good because we don't want an FA Cup final in July again. But that aside, Premier League form has been excellent. And despite the fact we had the Premier League's two top scorers in the shape of Thor and Goff in the last episode, a new Premier League top scorer has emerged. Thor missed a couple of games due to injury. Mira came in, and look at the state of the January Mira's had. A goal there, 4 goals there. He grabbed another 2 goals there. He's been playing as a striker pretty much since the last episode, with Thor on the bench once he recovered from injury. 22 goals from 21 starts in the Premier League. 24 from 25 starts in all competitions. And you have to put a massive asterisk next to that and just remind yourself that until November he was playing as a winger. So it's a quite incredible goal return from Mira. Thor is still not too shabby either. I know it says 17 from 25 there, but context, 17 goals from 14 starts, as he's had to play out on the bench to let Mira into the team as a striker. 22 goals from 18 starts in all competitions for Thor. The two of them are just absurdly good at kicking balls into goals, which is lovely for strikers. It's a really useful skill for a striker to have. So this is what the Premier League table looks like going into the business end of the season. They are, of course, the two top scorers in the Premier League. Bearing in mind Thor's only played half the games. He's the second top scorer in the division. Mad, absolutely mad. We've also got Mira and Goff as the two best players in the division. Goff and Mira joint second place for assists. Mira joint first place for man of the matches. This is the year Bruno Eduardo Mira became one of the best players in the world. I don't even know if I've mentioned since the last episode, by the way, this all happened. It was almost immediate from when Thor won the Ballon d'Or and the World Player of the Year and got in World Team of the Year. Both Goff and Thor were in World Team of the Year. Thor then immediately picked up an injury, and I don't think he's started a game since winning the Ballon d'Or. I think it's really wound Mira up that he wasn't even in the Team of the Year. So we've got the best player in the world being kept out of the team by an even better player. I love this team. I love home. What a team we are. Let's go and play against Norwich and hopefully keep this lovely run of form going. So we're going with Beckart in goal, a back four of Alif, Juranovic, Lee and Meyer, Zipancic and Cristiano in midfield, Sorelio, Drame and Goff behind Mira up front. If you're wondering where Costa is, I think Robert Costa, even though he's only just turned 30 in December, he might be done, because he had that long injury, got himself back training again, but then he's immediately picked up another injury. And usually when you see players start to do this, it is a worrying sign. It's not a recurrence of the same injury. He had a broken leg and now he's got a twisted ankle. But I don't know. I've had it in the past. I mean, if you look at his injury record this season, bruised ankle. So 2 slight injuries, a major injury, now a moderate injury. He's aged 30. He's only managed to start 9 Premier League games so far this season. I think the time might be up. Days might be numbered for Robert Costa. He might prove me wrong and come back a much better player next season. But with all these injuries, obviously all his stats are dropping. And yeah, I think we need to worry for Robert Costa's future, especially with Mira and Thor both playing so well. The push to go 4-2-4 is stronger than ever. And it's really just on Drame to try and convince me that we need to carry on playing with an attacking midfielder. And let's face it, that isn't very convincing. Mendes isn't very convincing. I think sooner rather than later, I'll have the bottle to do the 4-2-4, but not today. Let's continue doing what is working, because that's the thing. As long as we're winning games, I know we're probably not playing the optimal system for the players that we've got now, but we are still 17 points clear at the top of the Premier League. We dominated our Champions League group. I do feel like it's probably not the time to be experimenting with different ways of playing. Chernyshov would probably be in the team if he was still here, with Costa injured, as would Manu, who's playing out at Leicester on loan from Real Madrid. Right, I do expect to win this game against Norwich. Norwich are having a reasonably good season. I thought they were anyway. Apparently they're not. Blackburn are having a crazy good season. They've come from nowhere. After me saying in the last episode how it's a very familiar looking top four, suddenly Blackburn have decided to charge up the league and of having a season of their lives. But let me know down in the comments, is now the time to experiment? Do we go to the 4-2-4? Do we maybe do it in the Premier League just to see how it works? 25th goal of the season now for Mira. He's a very good football player. I don't think I can justify playing him out on the wing ever again, because sticking him up top, and he's only been playing as a striker for maybe 6 weeks. 6 weeks playing as our centre forward, and I mean, he is making the Ballon d'Or winner, the current Ballon d'Or holder. He's keeping him out of the team because he's consistently playing fantastically well. Thor obviously was scoring probably just as many goals, but Mira just looks fancy doing it. He's a goal scorer who also just looks incredible every moment that he's out on the pitch, and it's a joy to behold. Goff has picked up a knock, so we're going to bring Flager on at half-time. We'll keep Goff on until then. I don't like first-half substitutions. They trouble me, but Flager can come on at half-time. The other argument, of course, is it time to bring back the diamond? It's probably a dumb argument, because we've got some very good wingers, and the position we're struggling with is attacking midfield. But I don't know if 4-2-4 works. I do know the diamond works if you have the right players in it, and I think we've definitely got the right strike partnership to be able to make it work. Whether or not we've got an attacking midfielder to make it work is, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Drame. I think he might even still be a teenager. If he's not, he's only 20. He has time to develop into a truly world-class attacking midfielder. But do we really want our playmaker to be someone who's developing and turning into one of the best players in the world? Shouldn't it be one of the best players in the world there already? Drame there with a shot from the edge of the area. You can hear me talking about him. We need him to justify that £30 million plus fee. I mean, again, context, we paid more for Drame than we paid for either Thor or Mira. So, but then Mira has spent a long time sort of on the fringes of the team, being pushed out of position. He's a couple of years older than Drame and only now starting to look as good as he is. So I think we have to give Drame time. But in the meantime, how do we justify not playing Thor and Mira together? Look at the state. That was absolutely superb from Flager. I mean, Mira obviously gets the headlines for scoring 2 goals again, but look at this. Flager picking the ball up in his own half. There's one man done. There's your second man, third man, perfect cross. So Flager beats 3 men, perfect cross. Mira gets the headlines. That's Flager, our backup right winger. I love this team. 20 points clear at the top of the Premier League with 10 games to go. Cerello plays it out towards Flager, who can't quite get there. And it comes back to Mayer, who finds Zupancic. Zupancic to Cristiano. Out to Alith, who nods it on to Cerello. And there's Flager, and that's 3-0. Only the 5th goal of the season for Flager. He's been getting in double figures in recent years, but I guess with the incredible form Goff's been in, Flager probably hasn't had as much game time this year as usual, and he is showing today why he probably deserves a little bit more game time. What a header. I like this. Have I mentioned I like this football team? I might bring Diarra on just to run up and down the left wing. and get some game time into him. Flager's just beaten 3 men again. I mean, poor old Norwich, their left back, it's just not fair on him having Flager in the mood that he's in, just beating men for fun down that side. It's mad. Zupancic now out to Flager, who's come over to this side. He's decided to pick on this fullback as well because he just took the corner and then just hung out over here. Juranovic intercepts, and I thought that was going forward towards Flager again. Right, we're going to make that change we just talked about making. So Diarra can come on this left-hand side. I know there's an argument to bring Thor on, stick Mira out to the left wing. I ain't doing that. I ain't messing with Mira, the form that he's in. Thor's just going to have to force Mira out of the team. He's just been named Ballon d'Or winner, man. Thor should be capable of forcing his way back into the side as the lone striker. I'll leave it to him to figure out how to do it. I don't think I need to make a final change. Is there anyone who needs to come off for fitness reasons? Drame, maybe. There you go. We'll take off Drame, get Thor on. Thor can come on and play alongside Mira. So this is what I'm thinking as... I mean, certainly in the Premier League, maybe not in the Champions League final, but against lesser teams in the Premier League, that looks like a system we could use. And it could be a lot of fun using it. Imagine the goals, if this actually worked, that we could score. But weirdly, neither of the strikers seem to play as well when we're doing it. I don't know if it's that the combination of a complete forward and an advanced forward doesn't really work. That doesn't really make sense because that's pretty much how we played in the Diamond, and that seemed to work. But for whatever reason, maybe they both need to be complete forwards. Let me know down in the comments what a 4-2-4 should look like. But for now, we've picked up another win. Hopefully we take this form into Espanyol and start charging forwards in the Champions League. So a couple of changes for the Espanyol game then. We've had an injury to Beckart, so he's had to drop out of the team, as has Goff. Goff's going to be out for a few weeks, Beckart a few days. We've also switched up the fullbacks just for running about, ability, energy. Likewise, Bogarski comes into the midfield for the same reason, just energy. So I think they're the changes. It's been 20 minutes. I went and put something in the slow cooker between the two. I think they're the only changes I made, but I picked the team, then went in the house, pulled pork going in the slow cooker. It's going to be delicious. If you want to know how it turns out, I would say watch my vlog, but I don't look at food. Whenever I talk about food on my vlog, people just call me fat, so we don't talk about food on the vlog anymore. But pulled pork in the slow cooker, delightful. But if I've missed another change that Past Kev made, that's why. Flager now. Let's see some... I do remember him being super fancy in the last match. Is he still in that kind of mood? Well, I tell you what, Mira is. My word. 27th goal of the season now for Mira. We've got an away goal less than a minute into the tie. Flager, I mean, has to take some of the credit again. Once again, picking the ball up in his own half. Some direct running. Left Mira with a lot more to do than he did in that last game, though. But Mira spun his man, stuck it in the back of the net. And, Mira in this kind of form is utterly unstoppable. I mean, I know it's only February, but odds on Mira winning Ballon d'Or next year if he carries on like this. Surely if Thor was the best player in the world last year, I think we can all agree Mira looks better than Thor ever did. Surely. Zupancic with a rough pass back to Powell, but it ends up with Lee, who plays the ball forward, looking for Flager to chase onto again, but he can't quite get there. And the ball is being knocked around in the midfield. This is where we need Bogarski to get a foot in. That's exactly what he does. That's what Bogarski is in the team for. And it's Mira with the ball over the top again, finds Flager. Flager beats his man, and there's Drame. Less than 10 minutes. We've made it 2. It's Drame's 4th goal of the season. It's a lovely finish. Huge credit to Bogarski for his tackle in the midfield that got that move going. Candemil with the initial ball over the top to Mira, who found Flager. And Flager, if Mira hadn't been playing as well as he is, this episode would be all about how well Flager is playing. But obviously in the circumstances, I have to rave about Mira. But just know that there's background raving about Flager as well, because the two of them together, it's weird. The first half of the season was all about Thor and Goff. Is the second half going to be all about Mira and Flager? It's quite nice being able to freshen up your front two halfway through the season with two equally awesome players. I think we we almost created another chance there. But I think we looked in the last episode, didn't we, that Espanyol are only like 4th or 5th in La Liga this year. It is a game that we should be able to comfortably beat. I don't want wild predictions of a comfortable Champions League win just off the back of this performance, because we've won the Premier League 3 years in a row and we're 20 points clear this year. We are the best team in England by miles. Espanyol are not even in the top 3 teams in Spain. So you would think that we should be able to comfortably beat Espanyol. If you substitute in Real Madrid or Barcelona and we do this to them, then we start to feel a little bit more confident. Bogarski now looking for some of that direct running from him as well. Plays it out to Flager. It's quite a poor pass in the end, but Joksimovic had it covered. Big day for Joksimovic. I think this is the biggest match Joksimovic has played in, but similar to how Alif has forced his way in on that left-hand side, Joksimovic is very nearly there and he's pushing Mayer all the way for a starting spot now. I wouldn't be at all surprised if next year our starting fullbacks were Alif and Joksimovic. Mira's in again. That's the first miss I've seen from Mira in a long time. It was a really weak little tap towards their goalkeeper, and Thor is taking his shorts. No, he's not taking his shorts off. He's taking his trousers off. He's still got his shorts on. He's ready to come on, is what I'm trying to say. Mira is in again, and that's poor from Mira again. What is going on with Mira? I've been raving about him, and all of a sudden, he's lost the ability to hit it hard. If he does that one more time, Thor's coming on, because if there's one thing Thor can do... Wait, ready? If there's one thing Thor can do... Brace yourselves. If there's one thing Thor can do... It's hammer it. Oh, happy Monday, everybody. It is Monday when this... It is. I'm actually recording a video the day it comes out. I haven't done this for ages. That means I've had a lazy weekend. Right. Time for some substitutes, I think. Look at the state of that bench. We've got some players down there. Who needs to come off? Let's have a little look. Cirillo can come off for Thor. I am going to stick Mira out on that left wing. I know I said in the last match that I don't want to do that, but Mira's stopped scoring halfway through the game. I'm also going to take off Zupancic for Cristiano. That will do for now. I think the final change will probably be Mayer on for Joksimovic. Just because Joksimovic, like I say, it's the biggest game he's ever played. We don't want him to start to tire and give away a silly goal. There is Joksimovic, plays it across to Lee. He's not giving anything away. That was just comfortable defending from him. Bogarski back to Juranovic. Juranovic, ball over the top for Thor to chase this time. Mr. Ballon d'Or makes it 3 with his 23rd goal of the season. He does not want to be the forgotten man of home. And he hammered it. As before, it looks like Thor's wearing a bracelet, which is, I mean, you don't get a lot of bracelet in football. I guess they're actually sweatbands or a sweatband around his wrist. He's definitely maybe wearing a watch. Perhaps he's got a watch on so he can sit there on the bench, tapping the watch, saying, "Boss, is it time for me to come on yet?" That's probably most likely what's happening. Do we need to make a final change? Who have we got? Alif and Hervé don't need to come on for sure. Young, I guess, is the one man who it's always nice to get him on the pitch. Maybe on for Bogarski. Get Young a bit more game time in midfield, playing as that box-to-box midfielder, and just get him running about a bit in there, because he's never going to get in as an attacking player again, so maybe he needs to full-on convert to a central midfielder. I've noticed he's played a couple of times in central midfield for England, which I guess makes sense, because when I was England manager, there was very little options in the way of central midfielders, and if Young is accomplished there, then I guess why not play him there, as he's probably one of England's top 5 players, but he's only the 4th best striker, and they're still playing a one-striker system. So despite being one of the top 5 players, for him to get, similar to how it is with Holme, for him to get in the team, he's got to play out of position, because he's not quite as good as the other strikers in either of the teams he plays for. What a pass from Thor out to Flager. Flager squares it for Thor. Thor gets his 2nd of the game, our 4th, his 24th of the season. And Thor is back, boys and girls. He made that goal, played it out to Flager. Flager knows what to do from a situation like this. How many assists in this episode is that for Flager now? He's an assist machine today. It's 2 assists today. I think he got at least 2 in the... Did he get 2 in the last match as well? But Thor is showing everybody why he won the Ballon d'Or. The Ballon Thor. Flager crosses again looking for Thor, and it's with Young. Young looking to shoot from the edge of the area. Took far too long to get a shot away. That's why he's not a Kevin Williamson or a Mira or a Thor, because he takes too long. But there's your ball over the top for Thor to chase again. Thor does chase again, and he's running everywhere. He is desperately trying to force his way back into the team. Flager in behind again. I don't think that was a shot. I think that was a tackle from their defender trying to dispossess Flager that ended up hitting the post. But I think 4-1 away from home in the first knockout round of the Champions League, first leg, that'll do. We should be pretty good going into the second leg, which will be tomorrow's video. We'll do the second leg against Espanyol and Liverpool tomorrow. And I mean, we're all but there into the next round already, but we know from experience in Europe not to count our chickens until they're hatched. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.